Welcome, friends. Episode 3. Wow. Come on. I think we all need a bit of a cheer for that one. Well done. Down 2 episodes, and what an astounding response. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your encouragement. Um, I'd like to start off with we're not getting a lot of responses in the comments. We are raising a few questions. So if you want to be anonymous, you can send me an email or get to our website, and there's a form that you can contact us. Um, but we would love your engagement. That encourages us to see that we are touching your hearts. So, what I'd love to do is run through some of the questions that I asked, and that way we can get a look and feel on how to get a little bit more comfortable in actually answering them. So, one of the questions was, how do you develop a coping mechanism for negative thoughts? So, in psychology, there's the famous ACT, which is acceptance and commitment therapy. Essentially, what's it teaching us that not to just invalidate your thoughts, but validate your thoughts through accepting it. Once you accept it, you acknowledge your thoughts, and then you put it in a box and let it float away. That way, those thoughts don't really sit with you, right? The next part is commit. Commit to an action. Commit to taking a step forward. And those steps can be taken by yourself. You accept the thought, put it in a box, let it go, and then commit to an action. And that way you don't stay in a mode of freeze, but you can take a step forward. The second question we asked was, how do you overcome adversity? Now, each one of us has our unique way or methodology of overcoming adversity. So it's never linear. There's never a prescribed formula that we need to follow. All of our lives are different. It's unique in its own way. So respect your uniqueness and your position. Remember, it's a step-by-step process. Don't rush it. Surround yourself with a good, strong network that will support you, but also seek professional help. That's my heart. And I've started studying counseling so that I can be more effective at helping all my friends to take a step forward. The third question was knowing who you are. Do you know who you are? Do you know your identity? So our identity is, it forms the foundation of who we are as an individual. But our purpose also flows from our identity. Our identity is only discovered when we go to our Creator, or we connect with our Creator who has designed us for a reason and with a purpose. So those are the answers to the questions that we posed in episode 2. Let's shift gears a bit. And the comments were really amazing. Thank you for some notable mentions in the comments. We've got Kate, who says the message can be applied to all. Jody, who's learning to be brave and courageous. Virginia, who couldn't stop listening. Suraya, my auntie from Johannesburg, a shout out to you. You know, the grit and determination, and you cannot wait for the next episode. Thank you for your support. Kayla, for letting us know that it's true and authentic. But our comment of the week goes to, drum roll please, Catherine. And she said, I'll admit, I was waiting for episode 2 all week like a cliffhanger. Totally worth it. So thank you for all of your support and your comments. Please keep it coming. So for today's episode, we have Callum Hinze, a professional bodybuilder, a fitness coach, an entrepreneur. But to me, he's known as my wingman because his lats goes on for days. It's like wings. I believe I can fly. Okay, we'll try. I can do better next time. A gentle giant that is solid as a rock. The theme for our episode is finding my true purpose. It's not just focused. So Callum is not just focused on lifting heavy weights, but he's now turned his focus to lifting others up. Let's welcome Callum Hinze. I'm going to welcome our friends. So friends, thank you for joining us. Today we have a powerful and exciting guest, Callum Hinze. And he's been on a real journey. He's got lots of wisdom for the young age that he's at. And yeah, Callum, can you introduce yourself?
Okay, so it feels weird telling it to you because you know me pretty well. But for people that don't know me, my name's Callum Hinze. I am a professional bodybuilder as a profession. And I pretty much coach people to either get on stage for bodybuilding, build their physique up, or just simply get jacked, get shredded, get healthier.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I do with myself.
Yeah.
I've been doing that for pretty much 10 years in the gym now. And then before that, I grew up just being active, playing sport, being just an active kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at now. And as a brief overview, like Dean and I met, January, when I first came to Glow Church.
Yeah.
And Dean's been helping me just step into a new life, I feel. And now we're here where it's all kicking off.
It's coming together.
It's all fully come together now, yeah.
Yeah, I had the honor and privilege of actually meeting Cal. And what a journey it's been. I think I still remember our first conversation. And you mentioned about how always trying to be in control, having that next step always worked out. And being a perfectionist mindset, and we're gonna dive a bit deeper into that today as Callum unfolds his story, and I know it's going to encourage many of you listening, and please feedback, drop some nuggets that you've picked up from the session. We'll love it, and so Cal, when we met earlier this year. You were in Saudi Arabia when you reached out to Angelo.
Yeah. I was living over in Dubai, all on my own, doing a lot of like soul searching and figuring out what's going on.
Yep.
And I guess just come across reading some scripture.
So prior to that, you had no knowledge of the Bible and scripture or anything coming from a religious perspective.
Yeah, obviously just from the outside looking in. I knew the basics of what's going on, but I never understood or grasped it or thought about it.
Yeah.
My family weren't religious. They weren't against religion or anything, but it was just never really like a focus.
Yeah.
So I sort of came from a clean slate of pretty much, being able to come into it all through my own will rather than being forced into it, which I think steers people away sometimes.
Yeah.
And then luckily enough, we met pretty early on and you were able to actually guide me into the right way of doing it all.
I think when you mentioned that, right, the message that I always pass to our friends and to you, I told you it's not a religious endeavor. It's not something that, I'm following a religion now. The word that I mentioned to you, which really resonated with you, was relationship. You're coming back home to the Heavenly Father, right? We've got our brother, the Lord Jesus Christ, who has come to redeem us from our pain and our suffering, right? And give us access into this new life of joy, of peace, that even when we face challenges, we know we've got someone in our corner, right? And so I always try to keep that message. It's about relationship. And that takes the heaviness off it. That takes the performance out of it. How did you find that?
It's just more natural. I think from the outside looking in, as a younger person who had no idea what was going on. It
Yeah.
seems a bit more ritualistic, which sort of makes everything lose its meaning.
Yep.
And when I was younger, you'd just see certain religious things and be like, who are all these Jesus freaks? Like, what's going on? Like, to be honest, and it's so easy to get lost and just not understand it.
Yeah.
But then you actually come to realize the truth itself rather than just the surface level.
Yeah. Wow.
If you want to call it religion, it's like the truth itself is what actually makes sense. And now I'm like, okay, I understand.
You understand it.
Yeah.
So the difference that I hear from you is that it wasn't a religion that you were looking for, but you were looking for answers when you were in your challenging situations. You were looking for the truth. You were searching for the truth, but you were also searching for your identity, right? So talk to us about that, because knowing who you are and who you were, like in terms of your background and where you come to this journey, how did this really help you?
Well, if as a background, like early days, not early days, I guess if we look at like my whole bodybuilding career, I did my first show in 2020.
Yep.
And since 2020, I loved it. I enjoyed it, the first show. And I was like, okay, I'm going all in on this. And I think I just dedicated my whole life to being the best bodybuilder ever.
Yeah.
And it was done at first because I enjoyed it, and I still obviously do, but it sort of went down the rabbit hole of getting deeper into almost numbing my true identity, and doing everything to be the best athlete, the best bodybuilder I could possibly be, and fit the mold of what a bodybuilder stereotypically is.
Yeah.
And in that, I felt like I lost myself, and I was just seeking medals, pro cards, going to Olympia with no real deeper meaning.
Yeah.
I went and did a bunch of obviously shows. I won my pro card in 2022, which was awesome. And then from there, I did a few pro shows, which I just didn't place as well as I expected.
Yeah.
And I think I told myself, okay, I'm going to win. I'm going to go to the Olympia. I didn't. After my second round of shows last year, I went and spent some time on my own for no real reason in Dubai, just living there, training, living the bodybuilder life. But I was just a bit lost because I didn't place how I expected and wanted in these shows. And while I still loved the process, I was numbing out any feelings of what's my true purpose? Why am I doing this? And I was just sort of filling it with just, I guess, almost trying to like suffering for the sake of suffering.
Yeah. So you were experiencing some disappointment along the way.
Bit of disappointment, but I think that came from me not really being aware of my purpose as to why I'm doing it.
Did you set up that expectation on yourself? Was it placed on you by others?
No, I was all myself. But luckily, I've got a good group of people. Like my partner Morgan's supportive. My parents are supportive. They don't like pressure me to do anything. So it's all internal.
It's all self-inflicted.
It's all internal, which I think is not a bad thing. But when you go a bit too deep into it all, you just sort of, you spiral into like nothingness, and your purpose is not a real purpose.
Yeah. Let's peel back a bit, because what you said, you got into professional bodybuilding in 2020. But talk to us about why you actually got into bodybuilding, right? Because you had a bit of some challenging years. So touch on that so that it can give for me, a better insight.
Well, I started first hitting the gym when I was a teenager just because I wanted to build muscle. I was athletic, but I was also skinny. I was like, I don't want to be skinny anymore. I'm kind of insecure.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get big, and I started researching it. I went all in. I started watching YouTube videos, bodybuilding.com forums and programs, and learning. After I finished school, I went all in. I was at uni, but all my time just went on to researching bodybuilding, lifting weights out of underneath my parents' Queenslander, just random weights. And I just loved it. Yeah. And that's where it all started. Then from there, I started making really good progress. Yeah. And I kept on just loving the process. One day someone said, hey, you should compete. And I was like, it was my first coach. He's like, I'll coach you for free if you compete in this show. And I was like, okay, whatever. I was just still doing it because I wanted to be jacked for the fun of it. Then I did the show. I did really well for my first show.
But you did natural.
I did it naturally for my first show. Yeah. And I did well. And then I was like, okay, I love this. I'm going to go all in. And from that point, my first show was 2020 after about 5 or so years of actually training. Yeah. That's when it sort of got a lot more serious. And
So you mentioned you were skinny when you were in school, although you were sporty. That's why you got into bodybuilding.
Yeah. It wasn't like a deep insecurity of being skinny, but I was just skinnier than I wanted. Like I was athletic. I didn't look bad, but I was always like, I want to be jacked. Yeah. I grew up loving superheroes. I grew up loving WWE, and they were all just jacked big monsters. And I was like, I want to be like that. Yeah. So one day I realized, I don't have to dream about it. I can actually do it. Yep. I started it and I loved it. So yeah.
So you started natural, and then you switched to enhanced.
Yeah. So once I realized that, okay, I want to take bodybuilding seriously, like if you're doing IFBB or enhanced bodybuilding at a professional level, pretty much everyone's using some form of enhancements. So I was like, okay, I can warrant doing this now because I enjoy it. I see that I have potential in it.
Yeah.
So that is where that all came.
Okay.
But yeah, first show naturally, because what's the point really if you're not doing it for the right reasons?
Yeah. But your reason then was to be big.
Yeah. Yeah. When I first started, you mean? Yeah. First fight I started, I was just like, it's fun getting jacked.
And what about your diet?
Yeah.
Because that played an important part.
Yeah, very regimented. Like I remember when I was like 17, I started researching it all and just eating the same thing every day.
Yeah.
Provided progress. I learned obviously better ways to be more optimal with my nutrition.
Yeah.
And then obviously to the point where I started, you get even more like professional guidance with coaching. Diet's always been like a very regimented thing that I like to be very meticulous with. And yeah, it's not easy, but that's where half or more than half the progress comes from.
I love your approach because you kind of fixed your eyes on a goal, and you went and you researched it. I mean, even if you went to YouTube and you did a lot of reading, but you basically threw yourself into that because it's something that you love to do.
Yeah.
What else do you think encouraged you to still continue? Because it's not an easy journey to remain disciplined in.
Purely the enjoyment of it is what made me pursue it because I loved it. Yeah. But then once it got to that point of becoming a professional bodybuilder, it was almost like just I have to do this. You know what I mean? Like it's not, I didn't ever really cave into external pressures, but it was the pressure I put on myself. It's like, okay, I have to do this. I have to win. I have to be the best in the world. And just through not being self-aware and numbing out thoughts, that continued me pushing it further. And I did still obviously enjoy it, but there was no analyzing why I'm doing it after that initial phase until recently, obviously.
Okay, so competing naturally, you figured, okay, you need to kick it up a notch. And were you consulting a coach at the time?
Yeah, I had a coach and it was obviously like, if you want to take this seriously, you need to do this. And obviously got guidance. And luckily I've never done anything stupid or really push the envelope too far, which is good. But it's sort of just what's required. And if you're doing it smart as a professional athlete, it's like there's ways you can do it safely.
Yeah.
So luckily that's never been an issue, but it's definitely like not something to take lightly. You need to be well educated in what you're doing.
So you studied a bit, but you did it on your own, and you got a result. But in order to take it to the next level, you needed to have someone alongside you, like a coach, to help you, to guide you. What about your nutrition? Although you've started building up your own eating habits, how did the coach advise you into your nutrition?
Just more advanced detail. Like it was just me learning gradually, and then all the smaller, finer details were able to be like optimized.
Yeah.
And that just goes up. And then I learn more for myself.
Yeah.
I learn how to implement it, therefore learn how to teach that to clients as well.
Yeah.
And it's like the same for everything really, isn't it? Like whatever you do, you get help.
You get help.
You master it, you share it with others.
Yeah. How important was the coach to you at that stage?
When I first got my first coach, very, because I had no idea what I was doing in terms of a competitive setting. And it's, partly for education, partly for having someone to rely on so you're not second guessing what you're doing. Someone who knows more about what they're doing. I don't have to double guess and be like, am I not doing enough or am I doing too much? You just got that clarity and faith. You got the faith in like, okay, you tell me what to do, I do it.
Yeah.
Rather than going back and forth.
How important was that level of trust?
Very.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you notice a difference in the level of trust? Did you start with one coach and did you stick with him, or did you jump and change?
Been through a few. I never had any really bad coaching experiences, but I think every coach that I have gone to has been gradually more advanced in what they do. So it's like my trust in each coach I've had has increased because whether or not the way they conduct themselves is better or their education is better.
Yeah.
So the coach I'm with now, I believe, is like the most educated and well-versed coach in Australia. So my trust there is pretty high.
So what criteria did you have in mind? Because you started at a level, you got a coach, he helped you. You got to a level, did you get a new coach to get to that level? And then you're at a professional level now. You had to get a coach that will align you with that level of competitiveness. What criteria were you looking at in each individual at the different stage?
Yeah, well, every reasoning was different. Like when I first started, it was just having someone to tell me what to do at a base level. Second coach I had was someone who's going to, I guess, teach me with like the more meticulous side of things when I decided to take bodybuilding more seriously.
Yeah.
The next coach I think I chose due to his resume. He had a lot of American big named athletes working under him. So not so much with his, I guess, protocols or knowledge or anything. It's just more because he had
Who he was coaching.
Yeah, it was almost like a name value thing.
Okay.
And then the coach leads me to the one with currently now is someone who I'd heard a lot of feedback as to the way he manages coaching, the way he sort of runs things, his knowledge being really high. And that I sort of went to him through word of mouth after hearing how good he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess different reasons as I got more mature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, at a different stage in your life, you knew this person is going to help you. The reason why I'm trying to focus on that to unlock that, because we would have young men stepping into this industry of bodybuilding, right? A lot of them are trying to do it on their own. They don't really understand the value of having a coach. Different levels, you've had to build relationships with different coaches. But that particular coach did not give you what you needed in order for you to step into that next level. You went back to the drawing board. You did more investigation. When you had to communicate to that coach that you're moving to another coach, how did you go about doing that?
From the last coach, it's I guess it changes every time. Luckily, I've never had like any bad blood with coaches or anything.
Yeah.
Before I started with the coach I'm with now, I just wanted to take some time to myself. So I legit left the coach and said, hey, I just want to do sort of my own thing for a while, just for a bit of freedom. And then from there, I was like, okay, it's time to level up to another coach.
Okay.
Coach beforehand, it was more so just me realizing, I think I can either do things a different way or a better way. So it's just about maturely, just being like, hey, I'm looking to move on or learn more or try a different approach.
I love what you say, and that self-awareness. I think that stands out to me. From the time I met you, you've got this wonderful sense of awareness of yourself. And you know that, okay, the coach has helped you. I kind of want to learn on my own for a bit. And you push yourself. And then you realize, okay, I've done what I need to do on my own. But then I also need a coach to help me unlock some of the potential that's within me. And that's probably the key thing that you're looking within the coach, how to unlock the potential, right? Now, how did you manage to build a trust with the new coach to get you to that level that you wanted to get to?
I think I'm naturally very trusting, and sometimes almost too much.
Yeah.
I feel like I always I'm a bit of like a glass half full sort of person. I always see the best in people, which I think is great for a coaching aspect because I just put my trust all into someone. I'm like, okay, I'm going all in. But it's just obviously something you have to be careful of sometimes where you can put your trust in people who may not have your best intentions in mind.
Yeah.
Luckily for myself, I've put my trust in coaches in the right way.
Yeah.
But it's just about finding that balance of
Yeah.
realizing when and when not to put trust in people. But I think it's just an attribute. I just naturally trust people.
That's a strong character trait to have. And that comes down to knowing who you are as well. Because you can give trust to that individual, but you still within yourself know this is sort of the boundary to which that level of trust goes. And although you say you're all in, you get to a certain stage to say, okay, coach, I'll take it from you.
Yeah.
Right? I love that approach. I want to kind of tap on, did you have any bad experiences?
With coaches?
Where, no, not with coach, but with people that you trust genuinely that have hurt you or walked away or disappointed you?
Yes. Luckily, I've never had a really like a tough experience with people because I feel like if I don't see the value in someone or if I don't feel like things are being treated the right way, I'm easily able to sort of just move on and do my own thing. But yes, obviously in the past I've experienced people I've trusted who maybe I shouldn't have. But it's just sort of, I guess, a learning thing of learning how much trust to give people without going too far and just sort of letting yourself be walked over.
Okay. You've been on a journey. You said you are a trusting person. You've been searching whilst you were in Dubai, and you had this desire to reach out to Angelo.
Yeah.
Talk us about that.
So I guess it started with, again, it comes down to, like, if you want to call it religion or knowledge of the truth or whatever it is. I had no idea what was going on. But I did follow one of my favorite bodybuilders, Derek Lunsford, who was Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Olympia again now.
Yeah.
And he's like very open with his faith, and he would and does still always share just certain pieces of scripture and certain messages from the Bible. And I would just, in that prep before I moved overseas, I saw a lot of things he would post, and it just started to resonate. And I was like, oh, this makes sense. Just little things. And I think me being alone in that state where I was feeling a bit lost over in Dubai, I was able to sort of dive into it more and really consider what he was sharing and what was, I guess, what the whole message was.
Yeah.
And I had this one day where I remember seeing a quote. It wasn't actually from the Bible or anything. It was just a random one. But it really hit home. And it was something about the fact that our true intention and purpose for anything in life is to experience joy, hope, happiness, love, all the positive things.
Yeah.
And when you break it down, you're like, oh, that's the real reason you do anything. And I was like, oh, well, what's the reason I'm doing bodybuilding?
Yeah.
Because I want to experience joy.
Yeah.
And I thought the joy was going to come from the accolades of winning.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, true joy for me comes from serving others, uplifting others, and like sharing joy. I'm like, well, is winning a medal on stage, you're going to share joy? It might create a platform to do so, but not directly. So it sort of got me thinking, where does joy come from and what's my purpose for this all?
Yeah.
And I just started to, as I saw this quote, it really got me thinking about that pure idea of joy for myself and for others. Then correlating that idea with some more of this sort of scripture and just, pieces of the word that I'd read, it all just started to set in so much more. And I feel like I just had this sort of awakening sort of period where the things that I would read in the past made no sense. It was actually really starting to hit home.
Wow.
And again, me being alone over there and feeling lost, I just felt like I found my purpose through messages that I feel like God was sort of sending my way of saying, hey, let's reassess your purpose. Your purpose for bodybuilding and your purpose for life is far greater than just the ego.
Okay.
And then that led to a big rabbit hole of reaching out to Angelo because I knew that he was going to church near my place.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, where do you go? I want to come along when I come home. And that led me to, coming along and then getting amongst it.
Yeah. So Angelo is, we met together at the gym. He's been my PT. And so he actually saw me the one day at World Gym. And he said, you go to Glow? And I said, yeah, I do. And he said, oh, I went and I saw you up on stage. And this was one of the days that we were doing like a Father's Day competition. And he saw me there. And so when he said that, that was my in. You know, I said, okay, this is it. Because I was looking for a personal trainer. And you could see within him, he had this hunger similar to you to learn about this new journey. And so we connected. I said, I'll help you spiritually to grow if you can help me physically and be my personal trainer. And so that partnership came. But it was during that time that we started really growing because he was competing in his in a comp, and I could see the process that he was going through, and his prep was really hard. And so bringing him in and saying, you know what are the challenges that you're facing here? And then he was facing, I think he got to like 4 weeks and he felt like giving up. You know how hard it is, right?
Yeah.
The prep. And he said, nah, I can't make it. And I said, come on, let me help you. And so we connected. He shared with me some of the challenges he was having, and I helped him. And he was able to compete, and he got second placing, which was he never expected to get it. But this was the partnership that we had already formed. And it was the same thing. I said, Ange, it's a relationship. God is not someone in the distance looking at you. He's a father who's really concerned and cares about you. And when when you speak about trust and that you're a trusting person, you want to put your trust in someone that's not going to disappoint you. It's someone that's always gonna have your back. And so this is the connection and the journey that we're on. And he found that in his relationship with the Lord. And when you called him, he said, I go to Glow. He called me up and he told me.
That same day? Yeah, okay, I don't know that.
He said, I've got this friend of mine, Callum, who phoned me from Dubai and he's going to come back and he wants to join us at church. But I'd love for you to meet him. And I think it was the second week that you were there.
It was, yeah.
That we met.
Yeah.
You know, Callum, when I listened to your story and how you were already searching, you had this hunger, but you didn't know how to put your finger on it. And when you came into this environment and when we connected, that love, that pureness, and that, if I had to say, brotherhood was established. Because I could see in your eyes you had this hunger. And I said, okay, there's a reason and a purpose that you came. And I remember speaking to you, I said, just wait and see what the Lord's going to do in your life. You're going to go on a journey. So when we speak about trust, and you speak about joy, and you speak about love, those all his character traits, right? And unless we have a point of reference of what it is, then only we can start living it out. And so how do you find now with that trust and trusting in the Lord? You've learned that to establish this relationship with the Lord and to put your trust in him. Talk to us about that whole journey.
It's just freeing, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the main thing I've taken away is you don't have to do it alone. Yeah. You don't have to do it at all. All you have to do is just surrender, obey, and follow, and just live in accordance to his will. You don't have to try and work stuff out, and that's where it just happens naturally.
Yeah.
I feel like I've had like three sort of, almost you could call them like, I guess, awakenings, or just three periods that led to me going deeper. The first was me discovering the sort of, I guess, awareness in Dubai.
Yeah.
The second was sort of the phase where I started coming to Glow, and I did my baptism earlier in the year.
Yeah.
And the third period was just sort of this hectic experience that I've just had over the last week or so, which I think has just been the final nail in the coffin to like solidify everything.
Yes. Yes.
And I can say that now with everything happening, like it's more than like just a weight off your shoulders. It's like there is no weight on your shoulders. It's like you're just living and being.
You're free. Yes, you're being, right?
You're being these characteristics and traits of joy, love, peace.
Yeah.
Like you're just here just to sort of showcase that.
Yeah.
It's not coming from your own power. It's coming from somewhere greater.
Right. So what has that meant to you? And then you're going to touch on your experience when you got back from New Zealand. So how was this transition? Because I could sense something was happening. Every time when we spoke, we would just go deeper, deeper, right? How did this all prepare you for your experience?
Well, it's just like going to the gym. Like you're like, what are you doing? You're going to build like a gram of muscle a week or whatever. It's not really much, but it just compounds over time. Yeah. It's like what we've done. Every time we catch up, we like dive into the word and read together. It's just little bits and pieces of added wisdom that's sort of just accruing. And I feel like it's just been snowballing to the point where it's like the progress has been accelerating. Yeah. I'm able to make sense of what I'm doing and why I'm doing things.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm lucky that I've had you since the start, because if I was alone, it'd probably be a lot slower to really pick everything up, potentially go in the wrong direction. So you've built up my wisdom and I guess faith in that sense, because everything is sort of, I'm being guided.
No, thank you. Thank you for that. I believe that we've been connected and it's for a greater purpose. You want to touch people's lives. You want to bring that joy into the lives of others. I mean, you've been on the stage, you've got the medals, you got the pro card, but in that you still found that fulfillment is not in that.
Very shallow, yeah.
That's 100%. It's very shallow, right? And you want to give something that's greater, something that's more permanent, right? Now, I wanna lean on a quote that I learned this morning This is powerful. It says, better one hand with tranquility than two hands with turmoil.
Good, actually. Yeah.
Right? Better one hand with tranquility than two hands with turmoil. You were going through your own turmoil. You've left it in a vault. Nobody knew about it. You knew, and you were fighting this. And you had to come face to face with that. What blew that vault open? Wow, friends, what a really insightful episode. We see Callum was lost. He found himself in a place that he was hungry and searching for something, searching for his true purpose, searching for his true identity. And he was exposed to uplifting content through Derek Lunsford. And that opened up a pathway for him. And he is stepping into what he now has discovered is his true purpose. True joy comes from serving others, from sharing, and not from a platform winning medals. So as you've listened to that part one of his sharing, may those questions also resonate with you. How do you discover your true identity? Who do you have in your corner? Do you have a good, reliable coach? Did you have any bad experiences when you trusted someone? These are all pivotal questions that when we reflect on, that it will uncover what our purpose is. So please share in your comments. Like I said, you can mail me directly. You can go to our website and fill in the form. But I'd love to hear from you. And let's help each other on this journey. So next week's episode, we cover greater purpose. What was Callum's greater purpose? What was the catalyst that blew the vault wide open? And what was the anxiety that was hidden in that vault? And how did he overcome that? By listening to his story, it will enable us and empower us to overcome the adversity that we're facing so that you can be powered to empower. Friends, thank you for listening, and please join us next week for greater purpose.